Hello to all 1,350 of you, and if you're watching this because you're moving to Boston, I want to be the first one to say, welcome to Boston, the most insane rental market in America.
Greater Boston area's record low inventory for apartments. Competition is fierce and higher interest rates deterring people from buying.
Trying to rent in Boston, you know those rental prices are sky high and availability.
Boston is tradition, it's historic, it's got character, it's competitive, and it's also pretty expensive. In fact, Boston is now the #2 most expensive city to rent in the whole United States. Get out of the way, San Francisco, we're just behind New York now. And if you learn anything from this video or if it's helpful, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Now, according to my own data analysis of the MLS, the median rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Boston's most popular neighborhoods is between $2,800 and $3,200 per month. But why? Why is Boston so expensive? There are several reasons for Boston's rise up the ladder of most expensive cities. First, we have to look at location. Time out. If you're looking to take advantage against the rest of the real estate market when it comes to finding an apartment, make sure you sign up for my mailing list with the link below, where I send you exclusive off-market properties. That means these properties have not even been on the market yet, and you'll see it before 300 of your competitors. Also, look in the description below for my client inquiry form. Fill it out. It only takes about 1 to 2 minutes, and I'll find your apartment. Don't waste your time sending messages to properties on Zillow, praying that you might even get a response from some rookie agent. You know, you'll get a response from me within 2 minutes, as long as I'm not sleeping. And I've already found apartments for over 200 people. So make sure you sign up. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. So Boston has a total land area of just under 90 square miles, and 46% of this is actually water, not even land. So here's another cool fact about Boston. A lot of the land that you do see is actually fake. That's right, back in 1855 there were landfills, especially to create the affluent neighborhood we now call the Back Bay. Why? Because they needed more housing. This is about to be the common trend of the video. Some things never change. Here is a map of Boston now, and this is a map of it before. You can see how they filled in what was the marshy, swampy land. Alright, so small landmass equals less homes to be built. Now let's talk about population. Boston's population is just under 700,000 people. This actually makes Boston the third most densely populated major city in the United States. People are coming from all over the world to study at some of the top schools and the most prestigious businesses in all the nation. So you have this mad rush of people coming into this little piece of land we call Boston. It's a highly dense population, and this creates the inventory problem, the competition for homes. Now, historically, when you start to run out of space, you start to build up. However, this is not the case for Boston. Boston has an inventory crisis, and it can be contributed to the lack of new homes being built. There's a couple reasons why you don't see super tall skyscrapers like New York, Chicago, Miami, or LA. There's a lot of building codes and rules to maintain the historical aspect of this great city, to keep things looking the same and preserving history. Another reason is that when they built the airport, they actually built it so the runway faces the city. So the claim is that they can't build any taller because that would affect the flight patterns of the planes when they come and leave Boston. So we have this supply problem with everyone moving in. This is creating prices to continue to always go up. And there's currently talk about implementing rent control, even though it failed in the 90s and it doesn't solve the root cause of the whole problem, not enough inventory. Now let's get deeper into renting. There are 2 dates you should be aware of when renting in Boston. Number 1, September 1st and June 1st. Let's talk about September 1st, or what's better known as the September cycle. Remember when I mentioned so many students are moving to Boston? Well, they make so much of the population that 90% of the leases actually begin on September 1st, even if you're not a student. June 1st is another big day because that's when a lot of postdoc work and medical programs begin in the city. And the rest of apartments get sprinkled onto the market throughout the year. It is a very interesting scenario and very exclusive to Boston. This creates the fierce, mad competition for September 1st apartment. In fact, I've listed apartments and received over 40 inquiries in just 24 hours. That's not an exaggeration. You know open houses when you sell a home? Well, in Boston, you have rental open houses. At these open houses, you can have easily over 10 groups interested, a whole line going around the block, literally. And only one group or one person is going to get that apartment. Apartments can also go for bid wars, meaning it can go for over the asking price. And properties can also be rented in less than 24 hours. It's really insane. That's why it's important to work with someone like me. I remember one time I went to an open house, my client liked it, and we applied right on the spot. We had all the paperwork, we had the deposit, we handed the deposit to the agent. The agent looked at it and said, okay, open house is over. People were still in line to get into the home. There were still people inside trying to look at the home. She said, sorry, you can go home now. And that's how we stole an apartment. So if you would like to work with me, look in the description below for my client inquiry form. I move with speed, communication, and have experience. Last year, I did just over 60 rental deals. And I will have multiple listings coming up this year. In fact, maybe I have the apartment that you need. And I can have you apply without having to go against the rest of the competition. So make sure you sign up so that we can schedule some time and talk more about your search. So when should you start looking for an apartment? Apartments start coming onto the market in May or June for September 1st. Wait, what? Yep, you heard that correctly. If you're looking for an apartment for September, you're going to have to start looking in May and June. I remember how absurd that sounded the first time I heard it. I thought it was a joke. People were exaggerating, trying to make it seem like this bigger deal. Guys, it's not. It's completely real. Do not procrastinate. I remember when I came here from Chicago, I had 5 apartments that I wanted to see when I took off from the airport. By the time I landed, 3 of them were already gone. So it's important that you work with me, someone that you can trust, and make sure that your time and effort is not wasted, especially if you're only here for a short amount of time. I also do FaceTime and WhatsApp showings in case you can't make it. Quick tip, if you know you're moving in Boston, make sure that you schedule your moving truck well in advance, even today. I mean, if you know you're moving in September, you don't need to have an apartment to book a moving truck. Everyone knows that moving sucks. And it even sucks more when you had to go 1 hour to go pick up your truck and then 1 hour to go deliver it again. Make sure you start booking your trucks now. Alright, now let's talk about everyone's favorite subject, the fees. Let's get the easy one out of the way. When you apply to an apartment and you get accepted, you can expect to pay first month's rent, last month's rent, and security deposit. Those are all equivalent to 1 month rent. In addition to that, we have the broker fee. Another exclusive thing that's mainly only in Boston and I believe also in New York is that it is the tenant's responsibility to pay the broker fee, not the landlord. I don't know who made the rules, that's just how it is. The broker fee is the fee that you pay to the agents who find you properties to look at, schedule showings, go through the application and the leasing documents. This fee is equivalent to 1 month's rent, and many, if not all landlords, use a broker. They hire a broker to handle the photos, the marketing, the emails, the text, the scheduling of appointments, the follow-up of the scheduling of appointments, and the documents, and the lease, and all that kind of stuff, all for free. So of course, every single landlord is going to use this service. That's why, if you look closely, I have white hairs. Disclaimer, I don't make the full broker fee. If you think I'm gonna get paid $3,000, I wish. Half of it will go to that agent's broker, and then half of it goes to my broker. And before it gets to me, in my case in particular, the brokerage takes their cut, then my team takes their cut, and then it gets to me. Then I'm kinda happy until the government takes their cut. I really like the example of spinach.
You know what happens every time you cook spinach? What the f?
That's my piece. Anyways, make sure you hit subscribe, like, and share this video if you did learn anything at all, which I hope you did. And if you're looking for an apartment, you know who to call. Look down in the description below for all the forms and my email contact. And stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.